On this season of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, it's clear that Kyle Richards has been deeply affected by her separation from her husband, Mauricio Umanski. Since the announcement of their separation, Kyle has made significant changes in her lifestyle, and it seems like she's evolving in many ways. As season 14 unfolds, with the end of her 27-year marriage seeming increasingly likely, Kyle appears uncertain and emotional. She continues to hold on to the hope that Mauricio might eventually be open to reconciliation, though it seems like he has already moved on. They appear to be at an impasse, as neither seems ready to take the next step in ending their relationship. It seems like Mauricio needs to make a final decision so Kyle can move forward as well. For years, Kyle had a clear vision of what her life would look like and felt secure in that plan. Kyle and Mauricio were together for nearly 3 decades, raising 4 daughters and being seen as one of the most stable couples in the Housewives franchise. Although rumors about Mauricio's actions have surfaced in the past, they never seemed to shake their relationship. Kyle seemed to have the perfect family and an ideal future. Kyle grew up in a household marked by turmoil and drama. Her early life was filled with the challenges of child stardom, family separation, and ongoing struggles with her sisters. Given this turbulent upbringing, it's likely that building a stable and harmonious family of her own became a top priority for Kyle. So her decision to separate from Mauricio has clearly taken a heavy emotional toll and forced her to reevaluate who she is and what she wants in the future. Kyle struggles with being alone. This shift is most evident in Kyle's complex relationship with country singer Morgan Wade. The two became close in 2022 after Kyle discovered one of Morgan's songs and reached out to her. As their friendship grew, rumors began circulating that their bond was more than platonic, especially after Kyle appeared in one of Morgan's music videos. It seems Kyle is still figuring out her identity, as her connection to Morgan coincided with her desire to explore new experiences, like getting tattoos, something her husband didn't approve of at the beginning of their separation. This suggests that Kyle may be searching for herself through others, and the end of her marriage has made her fear being alone. The rumors about Kyle and Morgan's relationship have been tough for both women, as they have opened Kyle up to intense public scrutiny. While Kyle hasn't shared much about her personal life on the show, she has hinted that she's still coming to terms with her evolving identity. She and Morgan remain close, with Kyle even accompanying Morgan on her tour in Europe. Regardless of how this relationship develops, Kyle has a lot of personal work to do. Mauricio's new chapter. Meanwhile, Mauricio seems to be navigating the separation differently. After moving out of their shared home in Encino, he settled into a trendy condo in West Hollywood. He's been frequently traveling and enjoying himself, even sparking paparazzi attention with younger companions. Mauricio has also made a notable change by getting a new smile, adding to his bold new look. It appears he is thoroughly enjoying his new chapter as a bachelor, embracing freedom without the weight of family responsibilities. From the outside, it seems like Mauricio is taking advantage of Kyle's struggle to accept the end of their marriage. He's living life on his terms, while Kyle continues to grapple with what's next. It's not surprising that Mauricio hasn't made a move toward filing for divorce, as he's seemingly content with the current state of limbo. Kyle, on the other hand, expressed her frustration about the uncertainty, feeling that her life is on hold while Mauricio enjoys his newfound freedom. "Everyone's asking me, are you getting divorced? I'm just anxious. I want to know what my future holds," she admits. It seems like she's having a hard time accepting that this chapter of their life is coming to a close. A new beginning for Kyle. Ultimately, Mauricio holds the power in this situation, and Kyle is left waiting for him to make a decision. Though she hasn't shared much with viewers, her actions and emotions reveal a lot about her current state of mind. Watching her interact with Mauricio this season has been difficult, as it seems like he almost feels sorry for her. At this point, it may be best for Mauricio to be clear with Kyle so that she can finally begin to heal and figure out what she truly wants. Hopefully, in time, she'll find herself embracing her new journey with confidence. It's never easy when love feels like a pressure cooker, when the pressure to hold everything together builds up and threatens to burst. Mauricio Umanski had always been a man of immense charm, an affable real estate mogul, and a family man. Kyle Richards, on the other hand, was someone who lived in the glare of Hollywood's relentless spotlight, a resilient woman who'd weathered decades in the public eye. Their relationship had been the definition of power couple, but even the strongest of relationships face moments of frailty, moments when cracks begin to show. The breaking point. Mauricio sat at his desk in his sleek, modern office, the city's skyline stretching in every direction. His fingers tapped rhythmically against the polished wood surface, a sharp contrast to the chaos swirling inside him. He hadn't realized how much weight he'd been carrying on his shoulders until this moment, this quiet moment after the storm. It had all started with that issue, the one that nobody was supposed to talk about. It was the kind of issue that could send ripples through even the most solid marriages. Kyle's sudden behavior on set of her reality show had sent up a red flag. Everyone could see it, but no one knew how to address it. Her late nights at parties, the lingering distance in her eyes, the unspoken tension that hung in the air between them. He had been patient. He had always been patient with Kyle. But lately, the patience seemed like a concession, like a rope that was being frayed bit by bit. He sighed, running a hand through his perfectly styled hair. His new teeth, whiter, brighter, more dazzling, gleamed under the harsh fluorescent lights. The dental work had been something Kyle had insisted he get after their last family vacation. At first, he had balked at the idea. But now, as he reflected on their recent battles, he couldn't help but see it as a symbol of everything that had changed. The man he had been before, rugged, older, with a smile that had aged gracefully, felt like a memory. His new teeth were a facade, much like the life he was trying to build without Kyle. Maybe it's time for a change, he muttered to himself. He had loved Kyle deeply, he still did. But the person she had become was not the same woman he had married. Or maybe it was. Maybe the difference was that the woman he married had been someone who had always seemed strong, independent, a force of nature. But now she felt fragile. More than fragile, she felt broken. Kyle's struggle. Meanwhile, across town, Kyle stood in front of her bedroom mirror, staring at her reflection. Her eyes were puffy from a long night of sleepless tossing and turning. The reality of being alone, truly alone, was sinking in. She had always prided herself on being able to handle whatever life threw her way, but this felt different. This wasn't a problem she could solve with an Instagram post or a charity event. This was real. She had always leaned on Mauricio for support, for his unwavering sense of stability. But now, their once solid bond had fractured. Her fear of being alone had never felt so real, so raw. The empty space in their king-sized bed was more than just a void of warmth. It was a void of connection. She couldn't remember the last time they had laughed together. The kind of laughter that wasn't forced or tinged with bitterness. Kyle's heart twisted as she thought about their children. Her daughters, Sophia, Alexia, and Portia, had always been the center of her world. But now, even they couldn't fill the gaping hole in her chest. She had always been a mom, a reality star, a businesswoman, but who was she now? The answer was elusive. The only thing she knew for sure was that she needed Mauricio. She needed him to remind her that she wasn't just the face on the TV screen, the real housewife. She was someone who mattered, who was loved. But with every passing day, she realized that maybe Mauricio needed something different than what she had to offer. Mauricio's dual life. Mauricio had often thought of himself as a man who could juggle it all: his career, his family, and his public life. He was the successful businessman with the perfect family, the charming husband who made everything look easy. But deep down, the cracks had started to show. His life felt more like a performance than a real existence. It wasn't just Kyle's growing distance that troubled him, it was also his own. He had started to embrace the duality of his existence. The polished, professional Mauricio who appeared on red carpets, shaking hands and making deals, and the more relaxed, free-spirited man who found solace in late-night drives, enjoying his solitude.